It is Tuesday, and I just got an update on my TEDx Jacksonville TEDx application. So here's the thing. Failure is a sacred right. You all probably know I have applied to 15 TEDx conferences. And of those 15 TEDx conferences, I have now officially heard back from 5. So I received a note back from the TEDx Jacksonville this morning, and I was not selected on to the next round of their 20 applicants. I guess they narrowed it down to 20 applicants, and I was not narrowed down to that list. Okay. There are so many stages of feelings that come up when you really want something and you're not getting it and multiple places aren't choosing you, because that brings up feelings of not just failing, but feelings of rejection too. And this is something that comes up for a lot of people in sales as well, right? You have to knock on a lot of doors. You have to, metaphorically speaking, although some people actually physically knock doors. If you're an Edward Jones financial advisor, you are actually required as a new financial advisor to go physically knock on doors. So I feel like this is the equivalent of door knocking for me. And it is like sales. I'm trying to sell myself, sell my idea over and over and over again. And I did not get this one. And the first few stung a lot more. This still doesn't feel good. I do want this very badly. However, right now I am writing a book about failure being a sacred right. And so I am doing research. I've interviewed 36 people so far that I know or have been introduced to about failure, and learning that this is such a normal part of the process in things that we really, really want. It doesn't exactly make it easier, but I'm understanding that if I want to get to where I want to go, I'm trying. I'm putting it out there. I wrote up a little story for my book yesterday about Sarah Blakely, right? She is the billionaire owner of Spanx, and she created this incredible product. Or at least a product that a lot of women really like. I don't want to be restricted. So Spanx is not exactly my thing, but more power to anybody who is a lover of Spanx. And I know there are many of you out there because Sarah Blakely is a billionaire. But Sarah talks about how, at her dinner table growing up, her father asked them how they had failed that week or that day. And having a failure was not the biggest failure. Not having tried, not having gone after something was actually the failing. And so she really wanted, what I love about Sarah's story is that it's not just she wanted to make this thing happen and she encountered failures. She had other dreams in her life. Like, she, out of college, wanted to become a lawyer, and she failed the LSAT the first time. The first time she failed the LSAT. Well, got a really low score that wouldn't have got her into the right college because she's not a good test taker. I'm not a good test taker either. She moves home. She goes to Disney World. She wants to be Goofy, too tall to play Goofy. So she ends up working at Epcot Center, studying for the LSAT and working at Epcot Center. And then in the evenings doing stand-up comedy, right? She's giving herself a crash course in failing because, you've got to try out jokes. Does that work? Does that land? Does that not land, right? To become good at comedy, stand-up, you have to fail a lot, and I'm sure that doesn't feel good to do it so publicly. I feel like what I'm doing is such a public failure, but to do that, that's on a whole nother level. So she's giving herself this crash course in failure, takes the LSAT again, And this time it comes in 1 point lower than the other time. So she chucks that dream, decides that she might as well go after something else, and gets a job selling fax machines door to door, right? Back then, we don't do things the way we do now. So she is selling fax machines cold, going to businesses door to door to door. So it's like she's built up this thick skin. She gave herself not only a crash course in sales, but a crash course in failing, because she knew that failing was the road to success. Trying, not getting it, iterating, trying again. All of these things gave her the skills that she was going to need in order to launch and found Spanx. And it's not that was not perfectly easy as she was trying to do that either. But the thing is that it's the celebrating and the honoring the failing that is what got her to success. So I tell you that story because now, getting this rejection letter that doesn't feel good, what I want to do is I'm going to honor that it doesn't feel good. I'm going to honor this failure. I'm going to allow myself to grieve it and know, if not this, something even better. The right thing is going to happen. And I'm working on this book, and this is going to be a great story. This is not the story I wanted to tell around failure for myself personally, but I'm trying. I'm going after things. So my question to you is, what are you trying? What are you going after? Because it means that you're doing things. It means that you're trying. It means that you won't have to live with the pain of regret. You won't have to ever ask yourself, what if I had done that? Failing doesn't feel good. It doesn't. I'm not up here to sugarcoat it for you. It doesn't feel good to get a letter from a TEDx. What I want to do is I want to come on here and say, oh my God, guess what? I got it. No, right? It doesn't feel good to share with you and be transparent about this process. But I think so often we see people on social media and we only see the highlight reel. We only see all of the ways that folks have succeeded, but it takes lots of repeated failures to get there. So, yep, I got my third rejection. I got my fifth rejection for TEDx. Yeah, you know what? That's happening and it doesn't feel good. But I promise you, this is the road to success. And I promise you, I am not going to have to live with regret. So I'm curious, is there a business that you haven't started because you're afraid of failing, or if you're afraid that you're not going to get it right on the first go around? I promise you're not going to get it right on the first go around. That first business is probably not going to be successful. That first time you apply to something, maybe you'll get beginner's luck and get in or get it, and that's great. But I promise you're going to learn a lot more from the times that you failed and you didn't get what you wanted than the times that you did. I promise. So that's what we're doing. That's what I'm here for. That's why I'm sharing this thing that doesn't feel good with all of you, because it's important. And it takes tenacity. It takes resilience. It takes perseverance to repeatedly try for something, not get it right. But that is how you learn. So let's learn together. I'm working on this book, Failure as a Sacred Right. So I have limited coaching spots. I have limited ways that we can work together in August, but there are 3. So if you've got a business and you're working on growing a business, believe me, I've made all the mistakes in the book, and I can help you create the right business, scale the business that you're currently working on, pivot the business you're currently working on. We can do that together in my Directing Inner Wisdom Accelerator that begins August 4th. You can join Raw. Raw is amazing. It's a community of creatives that are going deep, swimming in the deep end together, devoted to their writing and creative life. So you can join Raw, or I have 2 spots for one-on-one longer-term coaching. So if any of those sound good to you, if it's something that you're looking for, If you're not sure if one of those is right for you, just check out my link in my bio. You can schedule a free 30-minute discovery call. But in closing, go after it. If there's something you want, don't let fear of failure keep you from going after what you most want. Going after it, not getting it, or even getting it, it's all up just a process. It's the journey. And those tiny little failures, those big failures, they're going to make you who you are, and they are what is going to make the journey worth it. I promise you. All right, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and I look forward to chatting with you and maybe working with you in August. Let's talk.